Dear students, today we are going to study the topic 8051 pin diagram and IO port programming of 8051 microcontroller. For this IO port programming, we need to study the pin diagram first. So we go for that. As already we have covered that the ports of this 8051, there are total 4 number of ports: port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. Port 0 is having the address lines allocated with it. So 8 address lines starting from AD0 to AD7 are on port 0. Then the next address lines means from A8 to A15 are with respect to port 2. These are the numbers. The pin numbers starting from 21 to 28. Then port number 3 is there. Port number 3 is having these pins. RSD means receiver transmission, then this interrupt 0 1, timer 0, timer 1. So these pins are there. And then the port number 1 is just, there is no specific function attached with this port number 1, but this port can be used as input port or output port. So as per requirement, this port can be configured. Now we'll go in details of some lines like this: external access, address latch enable, then this pSIN. So we'll go into details of that now. So here VCC ground, all of you know VCC is connected to the 5-volt supply. Then ground is, this pin has to be grounded. Then XTAL and XTAL2, these are the two pins on which this 8051 receives the frequency which is connected to the crystal of 8051. This crystal, along with this crystal oscillator, along with this XTAL1 and 2 input pins, it is connected to two 30 picofarad capacitor in this way. Here it is the parallel connection, parallelly connected capacitors, and here is this crystal oscillator, and these are the two pins XTAL1 and XTAL2. This is the ground connection which you are able to see here. So like this, the crystal oscillator of 8051 is connected to these two input pins, and from these two input pins 8051 can accept 12 megahertz frequency, 20 megahertz or 11.0592 megahertz frequency with these pins. The next one more important pin is RST. RST is reset pin. With when this reset pin is connected, it is actually this high pin, means active high pin. So when this is connected to 1, then for 8051 the program counter, accumulator, B register, program status word and data pointer DPTR, all these registers are reset with the values 0, and the stack pointer is reset to the value 0007. Now you may have one question in your mind that why this stack pointer is reset to 0007 value, why not to 0? So here actually the reason is the we know that R0 to R7 are the register bank, is one of the register bank of this 8051. So that register bank is present with the location of memory from 4 times 0 to 4 times 0007. So this register bank is present there, and afterwards this stack pointer is initialized. So actual value of this stack is starting with the location 0007, and that's why we are initializing it with 0007. Now one of the pin is external access. When 8051 is going to read from external memory, then at that time this pin should be connected to again, if it is active low, it has to be connected to ground, otherwise it will be connected to 1. Then psend pin means program store enable. It is output pin. When this 8051 connects this output pin with external ROM, then this means external ROM contains the program code which 8051 is going to execute. So it will read from external ROM and it will be executed. Address latch enable is again related to program store enable. It is again dealing with the external ROM or RAM memory, and it is making you able to access the address which is present in external memory. Now we will go into details of the port functions or port pin, and we'll see here how to program this 8051 uh, 4 ports. So here port 0, we already know the port 0 pins are accessible with P0.0. P0.1 means port 0 first line, port 0 zeroth line, like this it will be accessible. Then if you want to write down one program that will be sending that is sending either a 0 or ones to the port 0, then in that case you will be writing the program like this. See here what is written here: move a comma hash 0 ffh. Now why to load accumulator with all one value? Because ffh means 1 1, so all the values of accumulator a are loaded with 1. Why to load this with 1? Because we want to make this port 0 as input port. We want to use this port 0 as input port. That's why we are sending this accumulator to 1 1, and that one is sent to port 0 because we want to access this port 0 as input port. Now next is one label is defined. The name of label is back, and here it is written move a comma p0. So move a comma p0 means whatever data you are accepting on port 0, that you are going to move to A. Now that accepted data from port 0 we are going to print on or output on port 1. So for that purpose again we are moving accumulator to P1. Now and last thing is SJMP back. So we are going to jump to this back label, and same thing is done again and again. Read from port 0, write to port 1 like this. So port 1 is used as output port here, port 0 is used as input port. Now we go for port 1 programming. Here one example is given that we are going to write down a code which will continuously send output to port 1 the alternating values 55H and AAH. Now 55 means what? This 55 value means it is nothing but it is explained with 0101, isn't it? So 55 means 0101 and again 0101. So these 8 bits values we are going to print on board port 1, and this value will be again replaced with 1010 1010. That means it is nothing but AAH. So what we are doing here, 0101 is replaced with 1010, means we are just complementing the bits one by one, and we are going to display this output. Once 55H output will be displayed, and again that output will be replaced with AAH to port 1. So for that purpose we are moving here 55H into A accumulator. Now here A value is moved to P1 because we are going to output the value 55H onto P1. Now we are calling here some delay function. So delay of some seconds will be given here, microseconds will be provided, and after that we are going to complement CPL function. CPL function does nothing but what it does, it complements the values, complements the bits present in accumulator A. So it will complement, so 0101 will become what, 1010, and again you are going to jump to back, means you will be jumping here, you will be again outputting that value to P1, means now P1 will contain what, AAH, again it will come here, it will complement the values, and the values will be now 55H, again it will be displayed onto this P1. So this will go on repeating and you will get the output value as the 55H and AAH. Here we have used port 1 as output port, not as input. So that's why we haven't moved 11112 port value. So here port 1 must be programmed. If you want to use port 1 as input port, in that case you will have to load accumulator with FFH and accumulator value will be moved to P1, means what, this P1 is used now as input port. Now from P1 whatever value we are getting here, that will be placed into accumulator. Accumulator value is moved to R3, means R3 register, whatever is input from P1 port, that will be moved to R3. Here we are calling, we are giving some delay, again we are taking input from P1 port, again that P1 port input will be moved to R4 register through accumulator. Getting? Then again some delay is provided, again we are taking values from P1 port, input values from P1 port, and they will be moved to now R5. This is nothing but programming of port 1 as input port. We haven't used here any output port. The output will be only stored in the registers R3, R4 and R5. Now we are going to use here port 2. Port 2, on port 2 again same thing we are going to do, that we are going to display once 55H and afterwards we are going to display it as AAH. So same code we have studied for port 0, same thing is here. We are going to make complement of bits present in accumulator. Now if you want to use this port 2 as input port, what you will have to do? Yes, so you will have to move FFH into accumulator and accumulator value will be moved to P2. Now this P2 port will be used as input port. Whatever input you are getting from P2 port, that will be returned into A register, and A register values are output to P1. Now here from this program you are able to get that P2 port is used as input port and P1 port is used as output port, and this thing is repeated many times, so that's why short jump is written. This is nothing but dual role of port 2. In the same way, all the ports, port 0, port 1 and port 2, you can use in output or input mode. When you want to use any port in input mode, you will have to move 1111H into that port first, and then that port will behave as input port. Now port 3 is somewhat different. It is not actually only for input output purpose, but each of its lines or the channels are having some specific functions. So here we'll see P3.0, port 3 first line, that is used for what? Receive serial communication signal. If you want to transmit for serial communication, you will be using P3.1, interrupt 0 and interrupt 1. These are the external interrupt signals which are present on line number 2 and 3. Then timer 0, timer 1. If you want to deal with timer, use timer, then you can send the signals accordingly onto this timer 0 and timer 1 pins. Then we are having here write and read. So if you want to read from external memory, then you will be using this P3.7, this line. And if you want to write to external memory, you will be using this channel or signal to write into the external memory. So this completes our ports usage of 8051 and IO port programming of 8051. Thank you.